Welcome to the Resilient Mindset Podcast, an exciting new podcast by Resilience Queen, Justine Martin. Justine is the owner and founder of the Resilient Mindset, a division of the Justine Martin Corporation. Justine draws on her years of experience and knowledge consulting with clients to develop and sustain a positive mindset. Focused on igniting your passion, purpose and power, follow the Resilience Queen each week as she delves into the mind of her guests, exploring fascinating stories and inspiring journeys.
Boundless amounts of energy and a creative mind that is forever turning visions into reality. From a young age, Jody had a thirst for creativity and leadership and was often initiating a different way of thinking amongst her peers. Today, this is evident from the many business success stories she has delivered during her 30-year career. Her longest-standing business and greatest passion of 25 years is redhotblue, a creative marketing agency located on the Whitsunday coast in regional Queensland, Mackay. The company, who comprises of 10 specialists, deliver work throughout the region and across the nation and have been recognised for their work at a number of prestigious awards. Jody has been recognised at the Australian Institute of Management Awards on 2 occasions, in 2003 as Young Manager of the Year and then in 2012 as Owner Manager. In 2003, redhotblue was recognised as one of 5 finalists in Queensland at the Telstra Small Business Awards. Over the past 2 decades, the company has won countless awards at the Queensland Multimedia Awards for their exceptional design and advertising work. In 2016, Jody became a co-director of the charitable organisation the Nude Lunch, Ovarian Cancer Exposed, and was a driving force in establishing growing the event. The organisation was born from her dear friend and past employee who had been diagnosed with the disease and wanted to make a difference in the time she had left. In 2020, when most events across the globe were coming to a halt to the challenges of COVID-19, Jody simply changed gears. She led her team at redhotblue and a committee of volunteers to deliver the event nationally via digital means, attracting celebrities, sporting legends and TV personalities from across the nation. Jody played an integral role in the organisation's success, donating over $400,000 in its 5 years of existence. She was invited to become a Queensland ambassador for Ovarian Cancer Research Foundation. In 2021, along with her co-director of the Nude Lunch, she brought the national fundraising campaign, Frocktober, to Mackay. For the first time, to sell out audiences of 300 women, raising $25,000 on the night. During her highly energetic career, Jody entered a partnership and formed Core magazine, launching a monthly lifestyle magazine distributed across Mackay, Whitsunday and the Bowen Basin region. The publication recently celebrated 10 years in print. Jody has volunteered her time throughout her working career, having served on several boards, including the Mackay Community Foundation. Throughout 2021, Jody dedicated her time to running a podcast, Homemade Heroes, with her co-hosts to shine a light on unsung heroes in the Mackay community. Jody won in 2021 at the Australian Awards, taking out the Regional Business Award for Queensland and the Northern Territory. Welcome, Jody.
Thank you, Justine. Lovely to be here.
That's some impressive bio. Wow.
Yeah, listening to that, it's a lot.
It is a lot, and sorry if I've mispronounced anything. That would be an MS brain fart on my part.
That surname Euler is a tricky one. It
is. And I'd only just asked you how to present it, to speak it as well, so apologies.
It's all good.
Apologies. So welcome today.
Thank you.
We're going to get straight into it. Jody, what does resilience mean to you?
Oh, gosh. I think resilience is about, that ability to dig deep, overcoming, I guess, the things that are served up to you. We don't know in this life what we're going to be presented with in our own personal lives, in our working lives, and those friends and family around us that we love. So, for me, it's always been not looking on the negative side of life, but digging deep and just going, right, what do we need to do? You know, what's the information I need to know? Who do I need to surround myself with? We will get through this.
Yes.
You know, and I think also it's about knowing when you do need those people around you to support you and listening and learning from those that perhaps have been on a journey that is different to what you're on or what you're about to embark on. So, yeah, but, you know, I think we can all, it's that old saying, cup half full, cup half empty. And
so for you, Jody, is it full or is it half full or half empty?
I would say it's half full. Yeah.
So for me, it's always refillable.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, it's just perspective is everything. I really do think perspective is everything. And if I look at some of the experience that I've had in my life where, you know, there's been some confronting moments, I've also learnt so much from it when you reflect on that. Yep. So I do believe that life is a continual learning journey.
Oh, it is, most definitely.
And that's what makes it exciting. Tough at times, absolutely. But, you know, it also makes it exciting and knowledgeable. And then sometimes the things you can part and share with other people to help fill their life as well. You know, that brings...
You know, life is about adversity. If you don't have the adversities, you don't appreciate the better times in your life.
Exactly right.
You know, there unfortunately is going to be people that pass away in our lives, in our lifetime, and close people in our lives. You know, relationship breakdowns, changing jobs or business problems or car accidents or your own health. You know, the list goes on in the adversities, you know, and how quickly you bounce back from each of those is the resilience.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So what's an adversity that you've faced and how did you draw on your resilience to cope, Jody?
Yeah, you know, look, if I look at from a personal perspective, so I guess for me there's been some adversity both from a business perspective and personal, but probably the standout was obviously our eldest daughter who's now 15. We've got two beautiful girls, Tia and Piper, who are 15 and 13, and a husband of nearly 21 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's resilience in itself there, Jody.
Absolutely. Daily resilience in that.
Yeah.
But Tia, our eldest, was diagnosed at the age of 3 with Asperger's. And at the time, you know, we knew nothing about autism, which is Asperger's sits on the autism spectrum. Being in a regional location, there was absolutely not the facilities and the service and the support. So I remember after picking myself up off the floor when I got the call to say, you know, it was someone calling from the Mackay ASD clinic and I had no clue what that was and asking the question, what is ASD? And to hear the words autism spectrum disorder, it floored me because Tia was so advanced in her learning. She was ahead of others in her milestone. She was very capable. But, you know, we always say give her the wrong coloured plate or try and put an outfit on her that she didn't like and it'd be a full-blown meltdown. So trying to make sense of all of that was really tricky. And, you know, I just sort of went, okay, this is my job to learn and to seek out what we need to do. And we spent countless amounts of trips travelling to Brisbane and enlisting in workshops and learning. And part of that became then my giving back to the Mackay community, helping parents to understand what this meant, the school. So every year I'd write a book and I'd put that in the classroom so that the other children and the parents and teachers could understand what Asperger's was and how they could support Tia. And then, you know, through all of that knowledge and education and desire to wanting to share, because for me, I'm always been a person that wears my heart on my sleeve. You know, my husband often says, you share way too much, Jody. He's more of a private person. But I am a believer that I think if you don't have barriers up around you, then it allows other people to feel like when they're breaking or not doing so well or having a tough day, that it's okay.
Yeah.
And I think there should be more of that.
I think it's like being authentic.
Yeah.
You know, you can put out on social, because we're both on social media, obviously, and with our businesses and our lives, and you can put out the Instagram image. I'll call it the Instagram image, you know, that perfection.
Yeah.
You can be authentic. And if you're having a bad day, as I do, you know, with the MS and that, I'll often put, you know, a live post up or a photo up and, you know, saying, you know, my life is not perfect.
No. And I mean, it doesn't mean about wallowing in those moments.
No.
It means that, you know, even the brightest and happiest and most positive person can have those days where it's tough and you've hit your limit.
And you know what? It's okay to be sad.
Yeah.
So in our society at the moment, and I'm not downplaying depression in any way, shape or form, that we forget that it's okay to be sad. You can have a sad day. You can have a sad moment. Doesn't mean that you're depressed. It just means that you're sad for that period of time.
Yeah. And I think the amount of, you know, there'd be days I'd leave the school early and, you know, burst into tears. And sometimes that would be because I was so proud that Tia had achieved something we'd been working towards for months, you know, and simple things, really simple things that I think people without a child with a challenge take for granted. And so I actually always think that despite all of the tough times, and they're tough, the gift that we were given is the appreciation of the little things that so often get missed. So I remember the first time Tia planted a kiss on my cheek and the song that was playing, because, you know, she didn't like to be touched. That was her thing. And, you know, so they're really special moments, and it's not that they're any less special with Piper, our younger one, but for her, they, you know, freely flow, the hugs and the kisses. And amount of times I'd leave school and burst into tears and another parent would see me and, you know, we'd get chatting. And then it meant that other parents, you know, sometimes would be like, well, if you can cry, I can cry. And it's okay to do that.
So what coping mechanisms did you use?
Oh, look, I think I'm naturally determined. So if someone gives me a challenge and there's...
Game on.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're like me. It's like game on. Absolutely. Don't even tell me you can't.
That's it. You want me to climb that mountain, I'll climb it and I'll come down the other side too.
That's all right. And carry you with me.
Yeah, that's it. So I've always been that way. That's just ingrained in me. It's who I am as a child. So I think determination and a real desire. I've always been someone that loves to make a difference, whether that be, and particularly to other people's worlds and lives. So for me, it was about determination to absolutely learn everything I could, understand, and I guess as a mum, that mother instinct of giving your child the best chance they can. So that Asperger's autism space, early intervention is absolute key.
Oh, it is.
Key to everything. So when you're told that, for me, it was like, well, there is no choice. This is about embracing it and moving forward.
So you reached out to professionals,
absolutely,
external support.
Yeah. So workshops, I think I enlisted in every workshop, and none were obviously in Mackay.
Yeah.
So every workshop I could, reading, obviously flying to Brisbane and attending these little workshops. I met other parents, so we could obviously exchange ideas, but also family. Do you know what I mean? I could not have done what we did and what we got through without having those people to lean on.
And you have to ask for help, don't you, in
absolutely.
situations. And it's not about your pride or anything like that. It's just...
and I think some of the friends, despite that, obviously some friends sort of disappeared because of that, because they just didn't understand what that space looked like. It didn't matter how many times I tried to educate or explain to them. And it wasn't out of, them not caring. They just didn't get it. Whereas some of my most treasured friends still today were those that actually stepped up and said,
and were some of those just acquaintances to start with?
Yeah, some were strangers.
Yeah, I know.
Met.
Yeah. Isn't it strange? Because like when I was diagnosed with the MS, I lost friends.
Yeah, wow.
And, I contacted them sometime later and they went, we just didn't know what to say to you. And I was like, I'm the same person.
Just be my friend.
Yeah, just be there for me. And then the same thing happened when I went through the cancers. People didn't know what to say. And it's like, give me a break. So, every major adversity I've had, I've lost some friends, but I've gained some as well because so I've recently had COVID and I have, around about 3,500 people following me in that on Facey. And there was one lady that I've met once and she inboxed me. She lives here in Geelong and she's inboxed me and said, how can I help you? What can I do? And there wasn't anything anyone could help. But the fact that she was an acquaintance, not a friend, that she stepped up. Yet some of my other friends didn't see them, didn't hear from them, or said they were going to do stuff and didn't. So isn't that true? Yeah.
And I just think the kindness of strangers is the most beautiful gift. It fills your cup with so much love and you just, feel cared for.
Yeah.
Look, some of these friends that just absolutely wanted to step up to the table and actually say, I want to understand. How can we support you and Tia? And just that no judgment, was just an incredible time.
Well,
so
that helps the adversity then, doesn't it? It helps you then cope with what your whatever it is in front of you.
Absolutely.
And you kind of share the load.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for us too, it was always about, I never wanted Tia growing up feeling that this was something that she had to, keep hidden. Obviously, we didn't want this to define her, but we also wanted it to be just something that was talked about so that, her friends could understand, and to watch some of them over the years as, some of the challenges have continued with mental health as teenage years kick in. It as much as you can one moment be feeling so distraught over the sadness that you're watching, the flip side to that is just the absolute love and care that her friends pour out to her, which,
that's one
makes you smile. Yeah.
Yeah, we are smiling now.
Yeah.
Okay, so who are your role models in resilience and how do they inspire you, Jody?
Oh, look, I think I've been so fortunate, I guess, in my business career. So this year we celebrate 25 years in business, which makes me sound really old.
We were talking about age before.
I was 23 when I started. So I guess during that time I've met, so many different, business owners who are clients, and some of them have even become friends. Mentors, associates. There's just such diversity when I think about my journey. And I guess I aspire to be the best version of myself I can be. And I think when you are listening and truly listening, like hearing what people are saying, that's where I draw inspiration from. And like yourself, Justine, I know we had a beautiful conversation before we kick-started, and sharing your story with me, like I will go away and that will resonate with me, and you just reflect on those things. So I think I've been really lucky to take a little piece of so many different people along the way, and I hope that I can take some of those good things and really learn from it.
I'm sure you will after, just our little chat prior to recording today and even with so much that you've done. So our next question, what are your passions in life, Jody?
Oh, well, I guess at the top of that list would have to be creativity. That's been my world, I think, since the moment I was born. And, to be able to have immersed myself, for 25 years in a creative agency and a business where I've been able to bring other people and other creatives into that it's pretty special, to be able to step through the doors every day and still love what you do all these years later and inspire clients and watch team members grow, from graduates who have worked their way up to managing or creative directors. That's something I'm really passionate about. And I think probably the other thing is, just being able to give back to our community, give back to people where I can. Again, I feel very, very blessed that I've had a wonderful childhood. I feel like even though there's challenges on a daily basis and, we've talked about that, I do feel very fortunate the life I get to live. So to be able to give back where I can is something that, really drives me, I think.
I can identify with that. I sit on a lot of committees at our local hospital, university hospital, to help improve patient care, and I'm passionate about that in helping other people. And you feel better when you help someone. Yeah, money can't buy that. Money can't buy that feeling.
Absolutely. And people have said to me over time, like, why do you do that? And I said, well, it fills my cup. It makes me feel good knowing that I've been able to help someone or do something or something selfless. It's not about you, and to walk away. And even if it's something tiny, I just think if more of the world cared about their fellow neighbour, their fellow man, the person next to them, whether it be standing in a bus line or, at the grocery store, just to say hi and listen and think they might be having the worst day of their life. It takes nothing to take that moment to listen and do what
smile at people. Everyone, I walk up to the highway and back from here. It's a 2K walk, and I try and do it, nearly every day. And when we all had to wear masks, that killed me because I couldn't smile at people.
Oh, you are smiling under it.
Yeah, they can't tell. And so I'll have my headphones in. I can't often hear what they're saying, but, I'll be walking along, I'll see someone, I'll smile, and I'll say, good morning. And they're like quite taken aback that someone's actually said good morning to them. And I'm like, just that little bit of kindness, that might be the only time through that whole day that someone actually talks to them.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think it doesn't cost us anything but time. And sadly, and I'm guilty of it, that we never seem to have enough time in our days and our lives anymore because of the demand of everything that we're trying to fit in. I think we all need to do better at that. I'll put my hand up straight.
I've done a time management course 3 times. It's called Get More Time by Les Watson, and he's a really good friend of mine. He was actually my first podcast guest. So if you are listening to this, go back to season 1, episode 2, and have a look at him. And he does an amazing get an hour back in every day.
Excellent. Right.
Well worth doing.
I just need to say no to more things. And my business mentor taught me those words many, many years ago.
Without even having an excuse or a reason, you just say the word no.
And not feel guilty.
That's right. Yeah. Us as women tend to feel guilty.
I know, we want to do everything. We want to be everything. We want to put all those balls in the air. But I guess my other passion too is and looping back to that autism, Asperger's space. Like I feel really passionate about continuing to deliver what I can in a regional location, and particularly with our eldest daughter who, her mental health and those sorts of things currently, realising that in addition to the pandemic of COVID that's going on, there is also this youth mental health space, and there just isn't enough people to support and understand what's going on. So I brought Professor Tony Atwood. He speaks all around the world, and I brought him to Mackay 2 years in a row to sell out audiences for people to learn and understand and bring things regionally.
Yep.
So that's on my radar again, to kind of revisit that space and not have people who live regionally, I guess,
missing out.
up against it because, they may not have the opportunity to be able to travel, to capital cities.
All the money.
Experts are. That's exactly right. So, I'm on I don't know what that looks like yet, but I know it's something that I probably will never rest in wanting to do. Yeah.
Well done you, Jody. That's fantastic.
Thanks.
That's, and that's resilient in itself.
Yeah.
So, looking at the odds that you're facing and even just organising something like that, the adversity of it all and, conquering it and making it happen for other people. So, well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, Jody and I met through Ozmums.
Yes.
And we've co-authored a book.
We have, which is launching soon.
Yeah, launching in March, and we'll put the link in the bio to purchase Courage and Confidence. And I've interviewed a couple of others so far that are in the book as well. So it's all very exciting.
Yeah, it's so exciting. Writing a book has always been on my bucket list, with sharing that story as a mum who's a business owner and a child on the spectrum, and the impact that has not just on her but the whole family unit. So this was really nice to be able to do a chapter as a nice step into it. And it's given me that real bug to kind of go, okay, I really want to do this.
Well, this was my second one.
Oh, wow.
So I had one come out in December called Release the Shackles. Oh, and that was a co-authored book, and it became an Amazon bestseller. Thank you. It's still available on Amazon. And then now Courage and Confidence, and I've got another one coming out at the end of April, May, and that's Raw, Releasing the Strength Within. And I've actually had the opportunity of painting the front cover of that one. So yeah, that's been a challenge. What's that old saying? Say yes and then work out how to do it. Yeah. Well, that was me, because I've never painted a lioness in my life. So
fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. Yeah, that's right. 3 books, and I'm writing my own book and starting a publishing house, and I've just done a children's book on equality as well. So.
There you go. Well, I might need to check in with you when I'm at that point of.
Come along, and I'll help you publish your book.
Make that happen. Absolutely.
With Morpheus Publishing, which I launched last week. So now, Jody, I've got a couple of other little questions for you here. You don't know about these ones.
Okay.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yes.
Yay! I've had one person say no. Coffee, tea, hot chocolate, or wine?
Oh gosh, I would say 3 of those: coffee, tea, and wine.
I'm just the wine.
Probably in that order, actually.
I'm allergic to caffeine, so the first 3 are all out. I'd say wine and water are mine. Your favourite band music?
Oh, look, I'm an 80s girl, through and through. So anything from the 80s, ever in the studio, we get to all play DJ one day a week, and everyone always knows when the 80s is playing. So, like Madonna and Cyndi Lauper and In Excess and all of those guys. So, anything 80s you'll find me loving.
I'm like that, but I'm more the big hair bands. So Def Leppard and Poison and all of those. Yeah. Your favourite food?
Oh, I would say, well, if I'm going like down the fruit and veg, love fruit and veg, so I'm going to say raspberries.
Oh, mine too.
Absolute favourite. But then a whole food market that we've got just down the road from us do the most incredible brownies. So they're right up there. Yeah.
I've never eaten a brownie.
They're a beetroot brownie. Ooh. So they're not too bad for you, but yeah. But yes.
I'm allergic to chocolate, so that counts that one out.
Oh, okay.
I know.
No caffeine, no chocolate.
No cow's milk. Yeah, Easter's a bitch.
I'm an almond milk girl. Oh. I'm allergic to dairy. So.
Oh, yeah, same. Okay, loo paper forwards or backwards?
Oh, look, I know this is a question. I don't actually care.
Oh, You're the first one that said they don't care.
As long as it's on the rack and the kids haven't not filled it, I'm happy.
Awesome. I'm keeping a tally now. Okay, I believe you've got an offer for my listeners.
Yeah, so I guess for anybody who I guess is, in that space of wanting to understand their marketing a little bit better, more than happy to offer a free half-hour discovery call. And just, we often find that this really opens up people's minds to a very different way of thinking and towards their businesses. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for that kind offer, Jody. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the Resilience Mindset podcast today. And good luck with all your work and professional and all the charity work that you do as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Justine.
How can people get in contact with you?
So probably the best way is via perhaps Red Hot Blue website, which is redhotblue.com.au. Or my email address is Jody with a Y, Jody, at redhotblue.com.au.
And we'll put those links into the bios, listeners, so you can just have a look and follow up with Jody on her amazing offer that she's put forward today. So anyway, remember, listeners, stay resilient.
We hope you enjoyed the Resilience Mindset podcast. Remember to subscribe to the podcast to get your weekly fix listening to Resilience Queen Justine Martin. Follow Justine on social media at Resilience Mindset or log on to justinemartin.com.au. And until next time, remember, life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient.